Welcome to my channel. Let's sit down, relax, and let's get the talking. I got a few things I want to talk about. So tonight, Chloe was very crabby. As you know, how 2-year-olds can be. So for the first time, and mind you, I've been doing this thing for like 2 years. First time, I didn't get angry. I didn't snap back. I ain't do all that. What I did was, I remembered somebody said meditation. So I said, if I've been meditating, maybe this will help her butt go to sleep. I put her in the bed. I searched on YouTube, toddler music. Dude, she fought it for like 2 seconds. I looked over, the girl sleep, toes all like curled up. I said, oh, this work. Like, meditation music for toddlers work. So what I'm gonna start doing is at nighttime, I think it's lavender, like the oils, and they got the little things that shoot out. I can't say it right now, but it shoot out oil or whatever. Humidifier. There you go. Humidifier. I'm about to start using the humidifier in that music at nighttime because she really in there like knocked out, like she done went to a whole nother realm. I'm like, cool, I finally get some time to meet. So I was sitting there and I was listening to the meditation music as well. I almost fell asleep, I'm not gonna lie. But I just started thinking and I'm like, I think I need to go do a live. So here I am. And while I was thinking, I just was really sitting there and just thanking God for everything that he's blessed me with. And this time, like, I've lived on my own before. It's not a new thing for me. I just always end up back home for the decisions that I make, right? But this time, I don't know, like, I'm just more grateful. Like, if God didn't do anything else for me, he's like, this is cool. Like, the apartment's cool. My teaching job is amazing. My business is going great. I'm like, I never thought that I would have reached a happy place without being with somebody. And this is the first for me. I thought being in a relationship brought happiness, and that wasn't the case for me. Now, this is not a live to bash relationships. This is saying that I believe you first have to find happiness with yourself before you can attract the right person to you, because looking for other people to make you happy doesn't work. Because people are a disappointment. Like, we're human. Nobody's perfect. So always expecting my partner to make me happy, one, that's a lot of pressure for somebody. I'm your only happiness. You're not happy outside of me. Are you serious right now? Right? So being happy on your own, to me, is the number one thing you should figure out to do before you even get into a relationship, before you even get married. Right? Because once you're happy on your own, you're no longer looking to this person to make you happy. So I was sitting there and I started crying, right? Like, I'm crying, tears. And I'm like, yo, I am extremely happy. And I can, like, say that without faking. And if I wasn't, trust me, y'all, I'll be like, bruh, I'm miserable as fuck. Life sucks. I have no problem with getting on live saying that. It is what it is. That's why Only Your Truth with CT, whether it's good or bad, ugly, whatever, however it is, I'm going to be honest about it, right? And even this journey of being single, guys, I'm a mom. I'm like, single? Really? Gross, right? But I'm changing that definition for me. It's okay. If you're in your single period, it's okay. Like we did that live, Mia, Sierra, and Taylor, it's okay. I believe this period is a time to figure you out, to figure out what you like, what you don't like, and like who you are. And even if you're in a relationship, still figure out who you are. Like, we're never done growing. We're gonna grow until we're dead. So never figure it out. Just because you're married or just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you should stop figuring out who you are. Like, keep doing that. Make time to date yourself. It's really important, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm crying. I say, yo, I'm like legit happy. And I realized I'm afraid to be happy because in my mind, happiness is temporary. So if I'm happy, that means that something's going to come around and just destroy it. And then I'll be back sad, right? So I was like, I'm afraid to be happy, so maybe I just need to self-sabotage and be miserable, right? And to be unhappy. So I was sitting there, and these thoughts, I don't know why all these notifications are coming in. But I sat there, and I was talking to God, and I'm like, yo, real talk, I'm afraid to be happy. I don't want this feeling to go away. I don't want this feeling that I feel of gratitude to go away. And God told me you need to talk to those demons. You need to rebuke those demons. You need to say your affirmations, right? So I say my affirmations. I deserve to be happy. I deserve love. I deserve to be healed. I am healed. I am whole. I am in control of my life. I am in control of my destiny. What I believe, my dreams are happening. I believe that I'm living the life that I was always meant to be. It might not be right now, but I believe that. I believe it's coming. I believe a shift is coming, right? So I say my affirmations, and whatever those affirmations are for you, I recommend that you write those down. And when those negative thoughts do come to me, and they do come frequently, just keeping it 100, I say those affirmations and they go to bay. That does not mean that they don't come forward again. And they do. I just put them back at bay. And I realized that life is going to happen. No matter if you're making 6 figures or $30,000. Life is going to happen. You're a millionaire. You're not a millionaire. You got a job. You don't got a job. You got a car. You don't got a car. Problems are going to happen. It's just depending on how you look at that problem, right? Life is not exempt from problems. And I tell you guys that all the time. God never said that life was going to be easy, but he said, with me, you will get through it, right? That's what he said. And that's true. Because when you're going through life, and if you get in your word or you learn to just be still in that moment and stop thinking that, amen, ma, amen. If you just stop thinking everything is happening to you and be still and try to learn the lesson, you'll understand that everything you go through is either for you to give a testimony to somebody else or to help elevate you to the next level. And sometimes we constantly repeat the same thing over and over again because we're not getting the lesson. I repeated the same thing literally from 18 to 27. That is a long time to be going through a revolving door. Let me tell you. That's 18, 19, 20. Okay, that's a long time. It's over 10 years, okay, of me going through this revolving door repeated cycle. And I really didn't get the lesson until 2020. Yeah, took a while, but I got it. About time. I said, thank God. I mean, I literally repeated the same job. I literally repeated the same relationship. I literally repeated the same routine over and over for over a decade. And it wasn't fun. It was very lonely at times. It was very dark at times. And, you know, I had to really get out of myself and really look in the mirror like, yo, you are in your situation because of you. Not your mom, not your dad, not your siblings, and I got a lot of those. Not your friends, nobody, you. And having that hard conversation and realizing that, honestly, guys, when God said he gave us all power, he did give us all power. We have all power to change our situations. If you don't like whatever current situation you're in, your job, your relationship, how you parent, your business, whatever it is, your health, you have all the power to change it if you want to. Us as humans, we like to play the blame game. It's easier to blame other people than to realize that we're the problem. Realizing that you're the problem and actually working on that is a lot of work, and it hurts because that's ripping off Band-Aids. That's getting to the root of the problem. You are the way you are because there's a reason, something along your life, whether it was your adolescent years, your middle adult years, or wherever, somewhere along your life, you develop those habits, and that hurt that you never decided to deal with is coming forth. That's another thing, guys. You cannot suppress your hurt. It comes back up. It comes back up in a lot of ways, whether you realize it. Women, we don't deal with our hurt. Men don't deal with their hurt either. They shut down. Women, we foreshadow. You guys ever heard of foreshadowing? Or, you know, where you this is going to happen because it happened before. If you're thinking that way, then that means that you haven't dealt with whatever pain that was. Every man is not the same just as much as every woman is not the same. But if you keep thinking that, oh my gosh, these niggas ain't shit, you're going to keep attracting that to you. Because believe it or not, guys, we're energy. We're transferring energy all day, whether that's through our phones, whether that's through texting, whether that's through hugging somebody, whatever it is, you're transferring energy. So when I actually just came to this revelation that I'm transferring energy, right? So if I'm like feeling down, and I mean down, very negative, right? Chelsea, negative? Really? Yeah, it happens. Being extremely negative, right? It's energy. So when my friends call me, I don't know what they're going through at that time because they haven't disclosed that. But if I'm being extremely negative, that energy just transferred to them. They could have been in a positive light, but by the time they got off the phone with me, they feeling real, oh my gosh, like, I'm not where I want to be. Like, life sucks and this and that and blah, 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 blah. So what I said, what I'm going to do is, because everybody has their moments where they're down. You're human. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. But when I'm down, I just need to be to myself. And that's okay. Because being to myself allows me to check my energy and to pray and to get back into alignment. Because I don't want to be a negative cloud. I decided what kind of woman I wanted to be with this 30-30, not 30-30, the Mind, Body, Spirit Challenge that I've been getting on Facebook every day talking to you guys about. I decided what kind of woman I wanted to be. And every day I'm putting her first. I'm putting her forward. I want to be positive. I want to be healthy. I want to accomplish all these things. So that's the woman that I strive to be every day in the morning. I want to be a woman full of gratitude. I don't want to be a woman that's hateful of other women. If you're in this season rocking that shit out, your business is booming more than mine, girl, go ahead. It's your time. It's not my season. It's yours, and I'm going to be there cheering for you. I don't want to be that female that's sitting back. She thinks she better than everybody else. No, I don't want to be that. I want to be that person that when people come to, whatever you say to me, it stops right there. It's not leaving my ears. And half the time I probably won't remember. But it's not leaving my ears, right? I decided during this challenge what kind of woman I wanted to be. And I've been praying very hard. I realized a lot of the seeds that I've sowed throughout my life is actually starting to sprout. And it's scary because I feel a shift happening. And it's happening and it's scary. But it's also a beautiful thing to know that everything I've been going through is actually paying off. And everything that I am going to go through, I'm going to be able to help somebody else. Specifically my daughter one day. Which is great. It's great, right? So what I'm saying is, guys, you have to get to a point where you want more out of life. You have to get to a point where you stop blaming other people for the reason why your life is the way that it is, why you're in situations that you're in, because realistically, you're in that because of you. We need to get to a point where we own our truth. Like, Sarah Jakes, I listened to one of her podcasts. You guys should listen to her. She was talking about owning your truth. When you own your truth, what can anybody say about it? Like, when an enemy tries to use other people, you've already owned it. So what can you say that can tear me down that I've already haven't owned? You only can tear me down if I haven't owned that truth or if I think negatively of myself. So if you're telling me that I'm going to be a failure and I take that and I'm offended by it, then that means that I must believe I'm going to be a failure, right? If you're telling me, yo, you just a baby mama. You had a baby out of wedlock and you just a baby mama that your baby daddy don't want you. Well, if I believe that, then when you say that, it will hurt me and I will be in attack mode, right? Like, just fuck you. I don't like you right now, right? Or ever. We're done. You're not my friend. You're dismissed, right? But if you say that and that ain't true to me, I don't care. Yes, I had a baby out of wedlock. Yes, my child's father is not in her life. Yes, we do this Chelsea and Chloe thing with Chelsea and Chloe. Okay. Yes, I am going to be successful. No, I'm not a statistic. Whoever made up those statistics, I don't know. I am a beautiful person, inside and out, right? So it's taking your power back, right? Yeah. So, moving on. What do you guys think I'm going to talk about next? Because I don't want to be on here all night, obviously. You guys have things to do, and so do I. Forgiveness. I feel like it's important for me to talk about forgiveness. And that's because we're going into a new year. And a lot of us carry hurt. We carry pain. We carry anger from people that we feel wronged us or stole from us. And I did not understand forgiveness until, God put it in my spirit to really just figure out what it is. Like, the Bible talks about forgiveness all the time. And I'm like, that's just what we're supposed to do? Forgive people? Like, what if I don't want to forgive you? Like, I don't have to forgive you. You fucked up wronged me in a way that I feel like is unforgivable, right? So I found this YouTube thing, and for the first time, I understood forgiveness. And the way she broke it down, her story, give you guys a background. Her story was that this person that she realized she did not forgive, she was carrying them on throughout her life. When she was an adolescent, forgiveness heals you. Absolutely. She was an adolescent, and her mom, it was this guy or teenager in their neighborhood, and she used to always speak to him because she told her daughter, she wanted to make sure that this kid knows that he's seen. So one day he decides to go in their home and rob them. Unfortunately, her brother woke up and he murdered her brother, and then he left, but he realized he forgot his coat, went back and killed her mother, right? So her mother and brother were killed that night. He's doing double life in prison. So she said throughout her life, she quit her job at some point and decided to do a play about the murder of her mother and her brother. And she said throughout all this research and throughout all looking at this, she realized she never forgiven the guy who killed her mother, and her brother. And she made him a villain in her mind. And she goes on to talk about the root of forgiveness. Here is the thing. People tell us we're supposed to forgive because that's a good thing to do, right? It heals you. Forgive. But if you're not, what stuck out to me, what she said in that YouTube video is, you cannot forgive people if you're not ready to forgive. It takes time. And you cannot forgive alone. You have to literally pray to God and ask God to help you forgive people who have wronged you. That was one thing that she said that stuck out. Another thing is, she said she could not forgive the person who killed her mom and her brother for killing them. She had to forgive how it made her feel, what she felt he robbed her of. So she went down a list. She felt that he robbed her of her mother being at her wedding, her brother being involved in her daughter's life. So the thing is, when you're saying, I forgive you, what are you asking them to, what are you saying I forgive you of? You can't just say, I forgive you, Bobby. What are you forgiving Bobby of? What did Bobby do to you? I forgive you, Bobby, of X, Y, and Z. So this led me, she said she wrote a letter to him and sent it to him. She didn't have any expectations, but she wanted to release her, right? So this led me, and I'm going to share this with you guys. I feel like it's okay. I was crying, right? And it was snowing outside, and I was just talking to God, and I'm like, yo, I don't want to carry on this hurt anymore. I don't want to carry on this pain. So I decided to go ahead and text Chloe's birth dad, and I sent a long message, longer than what you would probably ever want to be sent to you. Didn't expect him to say anything back, but I had to release those things. I had to let him know, hey, I forgive you. Like I said, I forgive you. I didn't forgive him. I was still angry. I still carried around the pain that I felt of abandoning me. You abandoned me in my time where I felt that I needed you the most. You weren't there. I literally went through the pregnancy alone. I went through being her mother alone. You were not there, and that's very hurtful. I said, I forgive you for making me feel unworthy, that I didn't deserve to be somebody's wife, or that I didn't deserve to be somebody's partner. I forgive you for abandoning Chloe, that she will not, at this time anyway, have the relationship that I have with my father, that I won't be able to relate with her. My dad is my best friend. Right now, my daughter does not have that. She does not have what I have with my father. And I said, I forgive you for robbing my daughter of that. And the list went on and on and on, right? So my thing of sharing that is, when I sent the message, guys, I was free. And I don't want to get emotional, because I will start crying, and I don't want to do that. But I was free. And she's 2, she'll be 3 next year, for 2 years, or if you count the pregnancy, I carried around a lot of hatred for this person. And because if you would have told me 3 years ago, like, yo, Chelsea, you are going to be a single mom, I wouldn't have believed you. If you would have told me 3 years ago that her father wouldn't have been in her life, wouldn't have believed you. Throughout the whole 2 years or 3 years, a part of me, because I didn't deal with the hurt and the betrayal, there were moments where I started thinking, like, how would life would have been without Chloe? If I chose to not have Chloe, how would life would have been? And then in those moments, I have to pray, because I know that's the enemy. And I believe we have moments like that when we're down and we're negative. And when I get negative, I can get very dark. And I have to pray. And I think about how beautiful this 2-year-old is. Like, she's out of this world amazing, right? I don't even know how to describe it. The joy she brings to my life. She brings headaches too. But the joy Chloe brings, when she wakes up in the morning, like, good morning, mommy. Or if I'm crying and she comes and gives me a hug and say, it's okay. Or I love you. It makes it all worth it. I cannot picture my life without Chloe. There is no me without Chloe. I know I'm a person, but life wouldn't make sense without her. And I think through this, I've never been through anything huge really in life. Like, the most I probably went through at that time was probably skipping the class or something. I don't know. Being a single mom or going through that, the moment that I told this person that, yo, I'm pregnant, they left. Like, it was ghosts. Like, oh, where you go? Where you at? Right? It showed me how strong I am. It showed me that my life is far greater than what I can even imagine. I'm going to help so many people, specifically mothers, become great. And I couldn't really see that until I forgave him. Because forgiving him allowed me to be free. And when I forgave him, I can really say, like, in my heart, I told him when he decided to call and wanted to talk about it, I said, I wish you no ill will. I literally want you to be the best person you can be for yourself and for Chloe. If you decide to be here, I want you to be consistent, because it's not fair to Chloe that you're going to be inconsistent. But that decision is totally up to you. I said, I'm done allowing you to hold my heart captive, because I deserve love. I deserve happiness. I deserve a man who's going to love Chloe like she came out his nutsack. Yes, I said that. We deserve all of that. And I can't have that if I'm making you this villain in my mind. And I ended the phone call, and there was really no lie behind that. So guys, forgiveness is so powerful, because now it opens up the door for you to finally heal. I wasn't able to heal until I let that go. Until I honestly said, Lord, I don't know how to forgive somebody that I felt that robbed me of something. Help me. Please help me. Literally, I was on the knees like, help me, because I hate this person. Help me. And I'm like, I let it go. So to forgive, to truly, truly forgive, you have to get to the root. What are you forgiving that person of? What do you feel that they did wrong by you? And release it. Let it go. Because forgiveness is for you. Even if they do not say anything back, let it go. Because if you don't, you're going to be held captive by those people that you made a villain in your mind. And you're carrying this toxicness, this hurt, this disease with you every step of the way. Everything, every person that comes into your life is a trigger. You're going to do me just like so-and-so. You're going to do me just like so-and-so. Oh my gosh, I just can't. You're just like so-and-so. When really it's because you're harboring that on the inside. And I literally had a fear that whoever I got with next was going to make me a single mom of 2. Literally, I was speaking that, like, you're not about to make me a single mom of 2. You're not about to abandon me. Like, that was a fear. Like, I became so fearful that a part of me shut down. I'm not emotionally available to people that I'm dating or the people that I was dating, because in the back of my mind, I'm like, you're not about to make me a single mama too. Like, you got me fucked up, stuff like that. So I no longer feel that, though. I know that the next person I have a child with, they're not going to abandon me. I know that even if the relationship didn't work out, that they're going to be there for my next child and Chloe. Like, I know that. I no longer have that fear of abandonment. And I also realized abandonment comes from when I was a child. So I had abandonment issues. I'm working through those issues now, which is why I wanted to get on here and tell you guys the problems we have as adults is rooted from our childhood, our adolescent years. We're not dealing with it. And I think in the Black community, we don't deal with it. We're been conditioned so much to just, it didn't happen. Move on. Don't deal with it. And it affects us when we're adults, when we're 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And some of us are dealing with it in our 40s and up, or some of us never dealt with it at all. And we walk around with this pain, this fuck the world attitude because of the hurt we're not dealing with. Therapy is a must if you're hurting. It's a must. Stop telling yourself you don't need to talk to somebody. Stop telling yourself that it doesn't bother you. It does. It bothers you. It's hurting you. It's killing you. A lot of people that are suicidal have tried to kill themselves, if not succeeded. They felt that they had no other choice. It does not make them a coward. It doesn't. It means that they felt that they had no other outlets to use besides ending their life or trying to. Mental illness is a thing. Get help. Recognize the signs. Get help. Don't be afraid to get help. Therapy for the last 2 years is the reason why I've been able to grow. There's things that I talk to my therapist about that I don't talk to other people about. And that's a space for me to be free. So go get help. Seriously, it could save your life, if not someone else's life.